Having an online shop for your business is really important because customers can buy products even while you're sleeping. So in today's video, I'm going to show you step by step how to build a fully functioning e-commerce website from scratch. So I'm going to be showing you pretty much everything that you need to know. You will not need to see any other tutorials out there. So let's take a look at what I'm going to be designing. So over here, this is going to be our landing page. Now the skills I show you in this video pretty much translates to any type of e-commerce website. Right, so if I scroll down here, you can see it's a simple design, no fancy stuff going on here. And you should take a look at our products here. They're neatly laid out. We also have a footer here, which I'll show you how to create step by step as well. So let's say I go into this product here. So if I click here, it's going to take us to the product page. Now on this product page, again, we have a nice simple layout. Now, I don't know if you've noticed this, but in this layout, we have beautiful colors. Pretty much we've branded our online store. So this is what makes our stores look professional. And I'll show you how to add all those colors and pretty much everything you need to do to make it look professional. All right, so moving on. So over here now, if we take a look at our products, if I scroll down here, we also have a related products. Now there's also something that I added here. Let's say you have some stock and you want to tell people or show people how much is left. Now on this product here, we don't really have the stock option added. So notice what happens when I click on this product here. And also all our products follow the same sort of structure, which means we have a very good consistency layout going on here. So all products have this pretty much basic layout. So over here you can see it says 10 in stock. Now this is very important if your shop has items that you need to take stock of as people are buying them. Okay, so here we also have related products, which is really good. So let's say people want to take a look at the items which are on sale. Now here's what happens. If I come over here to the sale page, it's going to show you pretty much the items on sale. And if I scroll down here, it only shows us products on sale. So this may be a page that you may want to have and promote on social media. It's really important that you have this. And I show you step by step how to create it as well. All right, now back over here on the products, if I click here on this, let's say on this product here, again, we have pretty much the same structure, the same layout. Now, if I add a product to the cart, notice what happens. If I click on add to cart, now we have this area here that shows us our products that we've just added to the cart. And I think this is a very good visual representation of what is going on as you're shopping. All right, so if I click here on view cart, now it's going to take us to our page where we can take a look at the products that we have in the cart. Okay, so let's say we remove everything from the cart. This updates automatically and I can return to the shop, or I can just go back to my home page and continue shopping, or I can start all over from the beginning. Now, what I've also added here is also the ability to have some coupon codes. Now, coupon codes are very important because you can have these on, let's say, special days like, let's say, Black Friday, and you can specify a coupon code, like for example, Black 50 for 50% off. So what you would do is you create a landing page which has all those details. Now notice what happens. If I click here on add to cart and then view cart, right? So you can see here, this product here is £60. I mean, if you're in the US or whatever, you can add your own currency. That is also very easy to add. And you can see here, my coupon code has been added. If I click on remove, I can pretty much remove it like that. And you can see my price now is still at 60. But let's say I want to add my coupon code. Now here's Black 50, apply coupon. Notice what happened to the price. Minus 30, total 30. Fantastic. Now, if I proceed to checkout, pretty much now I'm on my checkout page. All I have to do is to add my details. And if I scroll all the way down here, this is where I can use PayPal. But of course, you also have the option to collect payments through credit cards. So this is a fully functioning system. So before we begin, I would like to go through items that we're going to need and also talk about my offer. So as you can see, throughout this, I use Divi. Now I have a special offer for you. If you buy Divi using my affiliate link, I will give you access to my web design formula course, a course that teaches you how to design professional looking websites with Divi. All you have to do after you've bought Divi using my affiliate link, head over to funnelstoincome.com. On the bottom right, there's a chat bubble. Send me your receipt number or send me an email. Include the details in the video description below, and then I'll give you access to the course. When it comes to hosting, again, you're going to need a beautiful hosting, which doesn't give you a lot of headache. There's two companies that I highly recommend. It's Flywheel and also SiteGround. Now, links to that are also in the video description below. I'd appreciate it if you use those links to purchase your hosting. And then finally, when it comes to registering your domain names, I use hover.com. That's hover.com to register my domain names. Again, I'll link that in the video description below. So pretty much that's all we need to get started. So I'm going to start off this tutorial at a stage where I've just installed a brand new WordPress install. And then pretty much I show you step by step how to create this. So without wasting a lot of time, let's dive in and let's get started. All right, so right now we have a basic WordPress install installed. So as you can see here, we don't have any page builders. This is purely just from registering my domain name and signing up for my hosting. All right, so let's log in and let's take a look at our admin dashboard and start installing all the plugins that we need. So I'm just going to hit enter here, add my username and email address and password, Right, so I'm just going to check for updates. Now, it's always a good idea that if you have any updates on your website, you can just go ahead and update it because that's the source of hackers to get into your website. All right, so everything is all set now. The next step is to start installing the plugins that we need. So I'm going to come over here to plugins and then click on add new. So the plugin that we're going to need here is the WooCommerce plugin. Now, this plugin is absolutely free, so go ahead and search for it and install it. So as you can see here, it has been installed over 5 million times, and the makers of this plugin are WordPress themselves, the company that makes WordPress. So it is very, very solid and it is well supported. All right, so next I'm going to hit install now. So what it's going to do now is it's going to install WooCommerce, which is the plugin that we need in order for us to run our online store. So this sometimes takes a while. It just depends on how fast your internet is, but usually doesn't take time. As you can see here, mine is installed. So all I have to do now is to hit activate. So once activated, it means pretty much we are ready now to set up our plugin. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go through these steps. So to be honest, sometimes you don't really have to go through this, but I'm just going to go through this anyways so you can see the process. So I'm going to say yes, please. So this is going to be our step-by-step process of setting up our store. So it's always a good idea again as well to add your your address and details over here. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that. I'm going to hit continue. Right, so this is asking me to sign in. So to be honest, I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to say continue. Okay. Which industry does your store operate? Again, you can just choose any industry here. So our website that we're going to be building is a fashion one. So let's go in and choose fashion there. I'm going to hit continue. What type of products will be listed? So here, normally what I like doing is to set up physical products and download. So the reason why I'm doing this for this store is because you may want to also include like maybe a PDF which shows you like a fashion guide or something like that you give away for free as people are buying your products. But if you're just selling physical products, then you can just make sure you select physical products there. Okay, right. Next, I'm going to hit continue, and this is going to take me to the next step. How many products do you plan to display? So here you can just add how many products. So I'm just going to go with 11 to 100. Currently selling elsewhere, I'm just going to say no. Now, the reason why you need to set this up is because let's say you are in your own country. Like, for example, I'm in the UK. I can set my company here as to deliver just within the UK, but it's international. You can just go in here and, apply wherever you're going to sell to. All right, so next I'm going to click continue here. Right, so now this is setting up all my pages. It's going to do the final steps now of setting everything up. Okay, so now you can see it's asking us about themes. So it's asking us to add the theme that we want. So pretty much, I don't need to use any of these because the theme that I highly recommend is Divi. So we're going to skip all this and come all the way to the bottom here and click on skip this step. And then it's asking us to add Jetpack. To be honest, I don't like Jetpack at all. It gives you some stats and some notifications about your website, but I feel that it just drags your website, makes it really slow. So I don't like using this at all. So I'm going to say no thanks. So we're almost there. So now I'm just going to hit continue. And now we are ready to add our very first product. Now, at this stage, this is where I just skip here. I just go to skip store setup because I want to do this, myself step by step. Now, if you take a look here, right now I'm on the WooCommerce tab. This is beautiful. It shows you how much sales you've made, your net sales, orders, pretty much everything on this dashboard. And this is really cool because every time you go on your website, you want to see how your store is performing. And now I'm just going to come back over here to dashboard and just clean this up a little bit, because right now, as you can see, we have quite a lot of things going on here. So first of all, I'm just going to close these. I don't really want these here. I'm just going to dismiss everything. Okay, and dismiss this one as well. Now this welcome here, we're going to get rid of it. Site status, we'll leave that as it is. So if you want to further customize what is here on this main screen, you click here on screen options. Okay, so quick draft, I don't usually use that. News, WordPress news, nope. Activity, it's fine. At a glance, let's get rid of that as well. All right, so let's get rid of activity as well. I don't really use that. All right, so now I'm just going to drag this into position, drag the WordPress WooCommerce reviews, and just by doing that, I've just cleaned up my dashboard. So every time I log in, the first thing I see here is my stats, my site health, and the reviews. In fact, I'm just rearranging this so that I have it pretty much the way I like it. So I like seeing how much I'm making over here as soon as I log in. Okay, so pretty much I've installed WooCommerce. That is looking great. The next step now is to go in and set up our menu. Now, before I go in and set up our menu, perhaps you'd like to see what our store looks like so far. So I'm going to come over here, click on visit site, but I'm going to open this in a new tab. So now you can see here we have the cart, the checkout, my account, sample page, and shop. Now, these are the links that were automatically added when I set up WooCommerce. So what we need to do is to go in and set our pages now. So I'm going to start off by adding a brand new page. But first of all, let's see all the pages that we have here. So, okay, so we have these default pages here. So first of all, I'm going to delete this sample page because we don't need this. So I'm going to hit trash. Okay, so that's gone. Next, I'm going to add a brand new page, and this is going to be the home page. So I'm going to click here on add new. Right, I'm just going to close that. And then I'm going to give this a title, and I'm just going to call this home and then publish. I'm going to hit publish one more time. And then I'm going to go back to my dashboard. Now, once our homepage is there, we need to set it up correctly so that when people come to our website, they land on that particular homepage. So to do that, you want to come over here to appearance, click on menus. So what we're going to do now is to create a brand new menu. So I'm going to call this one here main menu. Okay. Click on create. So this now is going to create our menu. So next, I'm just going to click on view all. I want to see all the pages here so I can add them onto my menu. So as you can see, all I'm doing here is to just select all my pages, add them to the menu, and then I can arrange them in the order that I want. So of course you want to have your home page as the first item, and then you want to have the cart right at the end, have the shop here. But we're going to come back here later on and rearrange these as we add new pages. So once you've added your menu, pretty much that's it. We're almost there. Now we need to go in and let WordPress know which page is going to be our main homepage. So let's go ahead and do that. Right. So to do that, you want to come all the way down here to settings, and then you want to click on reading. So here where it says static page, you make sure you select static page, and then your home page is going to be home, save changes, and now we have a specific home page. So now if I refresh this, you can see here, this is the home page. But as you can see, this theme here is really ugly. Ideally, we want to have a theme which we have full control. And now the next step is to go in and install our theme builder. Okay, so back over here, I'm going to go back to my dashboard. Right. So the theme I highly recommend is the Divi theme, and this theme is really powerful. It's got a lot of features, and you can also customize your landing pages, your product pages, and so on. It's really, really powerful. I've been using this for a very long time, and I highly recommend that you choose that. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come over here. Now, I already have an account on Elegant Themes. Mine is unlimited, which means I have a lifetime license. I pretty much get all my updates every single time. So once you log in, what you need to do is to pretty much download the Divi theme. And here it is. I'm just going to click here, download Divi theme, and this will download the latest. Okay, now while we're here, the next step is to get your API key. Now this is very important because when you add your API key onto your website, this is how you get your automatic updates, and you can also get support through that. All right, so to get your API key, you want to come over here to account. So I'm going to scroll all the way down here and find API keys. There you go. I'm going to scroll down and here is my API key. I'm going to click to copy. And then back over here on my website, now we're going to go in and add our theme. So I'm going to come over here to appearance, click on themes, add new. Now remember, we downloaded the theme onto our computer. So all I have to do is to click upload, choose file. And then I'm going to go to my downloads folder, double click on Divi, and then click on install now. So now it's installing the Divi theme, which is fantastic. I'm going to activate it. Make sure that this is the one that is working on our site. Now, once this is activated, there's still a few things that I need to do here. So let's head over all the way down here. Now you see, once you add Divi, you're going to have this entry here called Divi on the side here. This is where you have all your settings. So the very first thing we need to do here is to go to theme options. So theme options allows us to go in and add our API key. And to do that, you want to come over here to updates. Click on your username. So I'm just going to add my username there. And then I'm going to paste my API key in here. Click on save changes. And then I'm going to hit save changes one more time. I don't know why I do that, to be honest, because I've already saved the changes. All right, cool. Also, I need to mention that with this API key, you're also able to roll back to the previous version. So let's say sometimes you're running your store and you make a mistake, you upload something that breaks things, you can just always roll back, and this is where you have this feature here. Okay, great. So now that we have this all set, the next step now is to add our branding colors. Now I know a lot of tutorials out there don't teach this, but it's very, very important to have your branding colors for your store. And the website I use is called Colors. Here we are. So I've already gone ahead and chosen my colors. So my first color here is black. So I'm just going to hit copy to copy the hexadecimal value. So back over here, I am going to go to the first tab, which is the general tab, and add my first color. So in fact, my first color here is black anyways. So I'm going to move on to my next one. Click on my colors. I'm going to copy the hex. Now, the cool thing about this is I only need to do this once, and once I add all my colors, I'm good to go. Right, so let's go in and add the third one. Back over here. Paste it. In fact, I made a mistake. I should have moved on to the next one here. I forgot to do that, but anyways, it's fine. Okay. So now it's time to add the fourth one. So I'm going to come back over here, choose my color, and I'm just going to replace this. Great. So I think I have one more to add, and that is white. Back over here. Okay. So I've added all my colors. Now what I normally do now is I just go in and add a few variations of gray, and normally I use gray for my text sometimes. So I'm just going to go in and do that. I'm going to add a very light gray here, but of course you don't have to do this. This is so that I don't have any extra colors on my color palette. So these are the main colors that I'm going to have. So I'm pretty much happy with that. So I'm going to scroll up a little bit and click on save changes. So now we have all our branding colors. And as I mentioned, this is very, 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 very important. It just makes the design workflow much, much easier. Okay, so now that we have this, let's take a look at our page and see what it looks like. Now, this is what it looks like without the template or without the theme. So when I refresh here, we are going now to see that pretty much this is what it looks like. So let's go further and customize this. So I'm going to come back over here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add my images for my shop. So I'm going to come over here to media library. So I've already gone ahead and downloaded the images. So all I have to do is to click here on add new, select files, and my files here, take a look. Okay, there we go. So these are all my images. So I'm going to hit the Shift key and select all my images here. Click open. So this is going to add all my images that I need into my media library. So it makes it easier for me now to go in and choose them as I build all my products. All right, so pretty much these are the products. I just chose shoes, but of course you can choose whatever you want. It could be watches, it could be food itself, whatever it is. But the idea here of setting up this website is pretty much the same. All right, so now that I have this all set, the next step now is to start adding all our products. So I'm going to hover over here where it says products, click on add new. Right, so I'm going to say product 1. So you can name these specific, but I'm just going to call these product 1, 2, 3, and so on. All right, so that's product 1. Now, what I'm going to do next, now we've already gone ahead and added our colors. So I'm going to use Lorem 2 for my dummy text, because to be honest, it just takes me way too long to go in and type all my descriptions. All right, so I've copied my paragraph there. I'm going to come over here and paste it. And then I'm going to go further here and let's add our information. So the price is going to be, let's go with 97. And if you want, you can also add your sale price. So let's say this one here is going for 87. Okay. You can also add your inventory. So let's say you want to specify how many items you have in stock. You can go in here and say, okay, you have 10 in stock. And as people are buying, it will pretty much subtract from your stock quantity. And once everything is gone and your low stock threshold, let's say you can set it as 2, but in this case, let me just set it as 1. And once you get to 1, it gives you a warning to let you know that that product is not available. And if a customer buys this on the front end of your website and they visit the website and they want to buy that product and pretty much there's none in stock, it won't allow them to buy it. So as you can see, this is a really powerful feature. I really, really like this. All right, so I've set that up. It's looking great. The next step is shipping. So here you can also add your weights, you can add your dimensions and so on. And you can also add your shipping class. But in this example here, we're not going to do that. But it is possible to add your shipping class here because it varies with different countries how you do it. So there's extra plugins that you can use to add that. All right, so over here, you can also add linked products. So you know how you have your main product and then it also tells you this customer or most people also like these. And then there's also other products. This is where you add your upsells and cross sells. Now we are going to add this, later on. So we just want to leave this for now. We're not going to add any attributes. On the advanced here, we can add a purchase note. But again, we just want to leave this as it is. All right, so moving here, we also have the ability to add a short description. So I'm going to go ahead and add this as my short description. Now, before we leave here, we want to make sure that we set our product image. So I'm going to come over here, select files. Now remember, in fact, I don't need to select files because I've already added them to my media library. Sometimes I forget, it's crazy. So let's start by adding our first product. So I'm going to add this shoe here and set my product image. So pretty much I'm happy with that. Now over here, you may also want to add your categories. So I'm just going to add my new category here and I'm just going to say fun shoes. Now I'm just adding these categories here so that you can see how easy it is to add your categories, because if you have a shop which doesn't have categories, it pretty much means everything is under one item. So this makes it easier for people to find their products which may be in different categories. So fun shoes. And then I can say add category, and then I can say casual. Okay. I could say heels. All right. So let's have 3 categories. So my first one there, I'm just going to say fun shoes. And you can also tag them if you want to, but I'm just going to leave that as it is. Now, if you want to add a gallery, because sometimes you can have several images of the same product here. So this is where you can add a product gallery. So when people go onto that product, they can see different versions or different angles of that particular product. But again, we're not going to add that here, but this is where you would add it. Okay, great. So I'm happy with that. Next, I'm going to hit publish. So pretty much that's how you add all your products. So instead of you watching me adding every single product here, I'm going to pretty much do it one more time, and then I'm going to let you add, the rest in this tutorial. All right, so I'm going to come back over here. In fact, before I do that, let me just click on view product. I just want to make sure that the product is actually there. So there we go. So we have our product here, product one, we have the price, and you know, because the sale price, you can see there's a badge there, and also it crosses out the price there, which is really nice. Here we have our description, our short description over here, and then it also tells us there's 10 in stock. So as you can see, this is working as a fully functional online store. All right, now let's go back to our dashboard. So now I'm going to add another product. So to add another product, you can just come over here to products, add new. So this time this is product 2. Okay, we're going to add our description. And this one is, let's say 599, but we're not going to add a sale price this time. Inventory, let's add, let's say there's 15 in stock. Oh, I forgot to mention, you can also allow back orders if you want over here. So if you don't have the items in stock, customer can add their information and then you can send it once the products are available. All right, so let's go ahead and add our short description here. Okay, and then over here, we're going to add our image. And what we're going to go with this time is, let's go with this shoe here. Okay. Now I'm going to add my category, and this time I'm going to say casual, and pretty much that's all we need to do. Okay, great. I'm going to hit publish. So as you can see, this is very easy to add. So I'm going to pause the video here or fast forward it so that I just add all the images, because it just saves you time watching me do the same thing over and over again. All right, so I've added all my products, all 8 of them. So if you want to view all your products, all you have to do is to come over here to all products, and this shows you all the products in your store. Okay, so that's great. We have all our products in there. The next step now is to just customize our store. In fact, I'm going to show you the settings for WooCommerce because this is very, very important. All right, so let's click here on the settings tab so we can just go through it. All right, so here is our site title. So this is where you want to come in and add your site title if you haven't done that already. And we also have a tagline here. By default, it just says just another WordPress site, but of course you can give your site a tagline. So in this case, I'm just going to say, okay, so that's going to work as my tagline. And my site title, I'm just going to leave that as Woo. That's fine. Okay, I'm going to hit save changes. And the next thing I'm going to do is to hover over here where it says WooCommerce, and I'm going to go to settings. So these are now the settings of WooCommerce. So the very first tab here shows us our store address. So this is where you have all the details of your store, and you can also enable coupon codes. Now, this is great if, let's say you're running promotions. So let's say it's Black Friday and you like to sell products at a discount, you can add coupon codes, and I'll show you how to do that as we go. Now over here on the currency, this is where you can add the currency for your store. So all you have to do is to search for your country. So here I'm in the United Kingdom, so I'm just going to search for United Kingdom. All right, so here on the currency tab, this is where you need to search the currency in your country. So I'm in the UK, I'm going to search for pound sterling, and here it is. So I can set mine as pound sterling, but if you're in America, you can set it as US dollar. That's fine. Okay, so next, once you've done that, you can just hit save changes, and that will save all your changes. Next, you want to come over here to the products tab. Now here on the products tab, this is where you can specify your shop page, and it's already added by default. It's called shop, but we can go in and customize it and, you know, set it to wherever we like. And then here you can also go in and enable product reviews. But if you don't, you can just uncheck that and you won't have product reviews. But to be honest, it's great to have product reviews anyways. That helps with selling of your products. All right, so moving on, I'm going to come over here to shipping. Now, this is what I mentioned earlier on, where you can add your shipping zone here, and there's also shipping options. You can go in and customize this until you're happy with how you're going to perform your shipping. All right, so I'm going to leave that as it is for now. Next, I'm going to come over here to payments. Now, this is also very, very important because you want to make sure that your payments are set up. Otherwise, if people come to your website, they won't be able to buy your products and pay for them. All right, so there's PayPal. So you can set up your PayPal here. You hit setup, and this is where you can go in, and I normally use PayPal Standard, to be honest. You can add your PayPal email address there. Now, the one thing that I really like about WooCommerce is you can also add Stripe, which means you can accept credit cards or debit cards. Okay, so all you need to do with that is to just add a plugin that does that, and that plugin is free as well. Okay, cash on delivery. I mean, if you have a brick and mortar store, you can always do that as well. Check payments, to be honest, I'm not even sure if people are using checks. So I don't know about that one. And then this one here, direct bank transfer, you can also use backs in your transfer. So it's quite flexible. And as I mentioned, there are also a lot of plugins that work well with WooCommerce. All right, so now that we've got this, next step is account and privacy. All right, so over here, if you guest account, you can allow customers to place orders without an account. If you want to do that, account creation, I highly recommend this. If you select allow customers to create an account during checkout, it means that they're going to have their own dashboard where they can see the update of their orders, and what is going on in there. And also, with their consent, of course, you can have their details on your database and send them emails when you have promotions and any of that stuff going on. All right, so pretty much that's all we have here. We also have the privacy policy, so you may want to create a privacy policy page here and then link it with the page. So here we have the page, but we also need to add the information. All right, so once we're done with that, you can just hit Save Changes. And then over here, we have the emails. So here on the emails, this is where you get your email about new orders, cancel orders, failed orders, and so on. And then over here, you have your integrations. So you can add Google Ads. And also the really cool thing about this as well is, let's say you have an email autoresponder like, let's say ConvertKit. You can link it all up, so when someone buys a product, they're added onto the mailing list automatically. Now, the reason why you may want to do that is because it makes it easy for you to send emails out and manage all your emails. Now, what I've noticed here is when I set it up, it has MailChimp here by default. That was very naughty of WooCommerce. I would rather have people choose their email provider of choice rather than just set it up for them. So maybe it's because I missed that step. Maybe I could have just disabled it, but I don't know. All right, over here, the advanced tab, let's see what is here. So pretty much here we have our page setup. So we have our cart page, checkout page, account page, terms and conditions. We can click on this drop down and choose our terms and conditions page. If you haven't created it, we need to create it. And then it's going to show up here on the drop down. And once you select it, it then becomes your terms and conditions. Okay, so checkout endpoints, to be honest, you don't need to worry about any of that. I'm just going to hit Save Changes. And pretty much this is what the settings of WooCommerce look like. Great. So we have all our products all set. We've gone through all this. The next step now is to really customize our shop front and make it look like a real, shop. So right now, if we come over here and refresh, we can see that it doesn't look really good, very nice. So let me show you how to design this page and really make it look awesome. Right. I'm going to come over here, enable Visual Builder. And again, you're going to see the reason why I highly recommend to use a page builder. Now, if it's your first time using Divi, it's going to give you this tour guide. Now, I just go ahead and just click on Start Building because I don't need to go through that. Now, for this page as well, I'm going to build everything from scratch. So I'm going to come over here. Okay, so here it goes. So the first thing I'm going to do is to have a nice main hero image. So I'm going to click here on this plus button and full width, and I'm going to add a full width header. Right, so usually when I work with Divi, I like snapping this over to the left. So I have all my controls here and then everything else is over here on the right. Okay, so our button here, let's call it Start Shopping. Okay, so Start Shopping is going to be our text for our main button here. Now, once this button is selected, the next stage is to just make sure that you link button 1 to a link. In this case, it needs to be to the shop page. So I'm going to add a blank link for now. Okay. Right. So back over here, I'm going to go into the text. So it says your title goes here. Now, this is where you want to go in and add your specific text. And this is going to say, let's call this, what can we say here? Okay. I'm just going to say quality designer shoes. Okay, and then we're going to need a description here. So this is our main description. I'm just going to use that lorem text, to be honest, but you don't want to use a lot of it because you just want a basic description here. There we go. So I'm just going to add, a short line. Now, this is where you can decide whether you're going to have this centered or you're going to have this more on the left side. But we're going to make that decision as we're working on this page. Next, I'm going to come over here to background, and this is where I can add my background colors and so on. But you know what? Before we can add any of that, I'm going to come back over here to my design, and I'm going to go to layout and go to full screen. Okay. So basically our main hero area here is going to be full screen. Now back over here on the content, this is where we can go back and start adding our colors. Or in this case, I need to add an image. So I'm going to come over here, add background image. And these are the images that we have so far. So let's try this one here, see how that looks. I think it looks okay. Okay, let's try another one. Now it's always important to, play around with different images here and see which one looks better. In fact, this one looks quite nice too. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm in trouble now. All right. So, okay, let's work on the background, because as you can see here, the background is really, really bright. We can't really set our text is not very easy to read. So what we're going to do is we are going to set our background image blends to multiply. Okay. So you can see here, it's gone a bit dark, but it's not what we want. So I'm going to come over here to our colors, and let me add this color right here. And this is from our color palette, by the way. Now, if you want to control how much of that color is showing, you just drag this down a little bit until you're happy with how it looks. And to be honest, I think that looks great. We can try different colors as well. Now, of course, that one doesn't work. It's just a bit too crazy. Let's try black. Black could work as well, but you know what? I'm going to go with this. I prefer having this bluish color here. All right, there we go. Right, so that's one way you can do it. Now, there's also another way you can do this, and that is by adding a gradient. So to add a gradient, we just click here, and let's add our first color here. So I'm going to go with this color here. Then I'm going to add my second color. So you can see there, but to be honest, this doesn't look really nice. But I'm just going to show you how you can play around with this and make it look the way you want. There we go. So that's one way you could do this. But I don't think this color here looks really nice, to be honest. So let's try that. Okay, so that could work as well. So you can see here on the side, it's really dark. And you can also play around with this. So you can show on the bottom here, that's the part that's dark. So you can choose pretty much how you want to have it. You can do it this way and have a little bit showing here on the top. And then you can go in and center all of this. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to come over here, go to our layout and center everything. So now everything is centered. It's time now to go into the text and really customize this. So I'm going to click here on this little brush tool. So this will take us directly to our heading 1 text. So I'm going to start off by adding my font here. I like using Poppins, because I've been using this for a long time. If you watch my tutorials, you're going to notice that that's what I use all the time. But that doesn't mean you don't have any flexibility of what types of fonts to use. You can use pretty much any fonts you want. Okay, so here's where I experiment now and see what looks nice. So let me try light. I'm going to increase that. Let's go with 36 perhaps. Then I'm going to add a bit of letter spacing. I think that looks nice. So let's increase the size a little bit. All right, so while I'm here, I just want to see how this looks on the tablet. So make sure you click on this little icon here, and then we're going to go into tablet. So in tablet mode, we can see here that our text doesn't have great line height. So I'm going to fix that. So I'm going to come over here to line height, nudge this a little bit. Let's go with 1.5. In fact, let's go with 1.6. Okay, and let's go to the phone. And the phone, I'm going to reduce my size here a little bit. Okay. All right. So over here on the phone, I think I'll just leave it at that. That looks fine. All right. So back over here on the desktop, I'm going to come over here to my description text, and that definitely looks small. So let's increase the size a little bit. So let's go with 22, and let's add some line height. Then let's make this bold. Okay, you know what? Let's increase the size a bit more. So maybe bold may be a bit too much. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm playing around with different settings, and this is what you would do in your design process. So now I'm going to go and choose my font, and there we go. So let's go with regular. Because what's happening now is my description text is much stronger than my title here. So I need to fix that. So I'm going to reduce my body text here. Let's go with 20. And let's increase our main description here a little bit. All right, so I think that looks better. So while we're here, we might as well work on the button. So I'm going to click on this little brush tool and let's activate use custom styles for button. So straight away we can go in and add our background colors and so on. All right, so I'm going to come over here and add my background color. I want a color that really pops so that it's a clear call to action. All right, so now that we have our color, I'm going to also change my border color here just to match it with my background color. And then button border radius, to be honest, I'll leave it as it is. Letter spacing, nah. But we're going to change our font and make it match with what we have here. Okay, so we're going to make it all caps and we're going to make it bold. Right, so that's nice and bold, and I'm really liking how this is shaping up now. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save this now. And I'm going to drag this to the top like that. Now, as I'm looking at this, I can see here that our heads are cut off here. So that's not a good thing. Let's go ahead and fix that. I'm going to come back over here and go to background. So over here on background, what we need to do is to go to our image position and go to, let's try top center, save it. And that looks much better. Okay, so we have the heads all in view. All right, so pretty much that's our main page. Let's move on and let's start adding all our other areas that we need. All right, so the next step now is to add our products to the main page. So to do that, we're going to click here on this plus button, add a single column, and here we're going to need the shop module. So I'm going to go ahead and select it. So straight away you can see it's added all my products on there, and this looks really, really nice. And this is why it's important to add all your products first. Now we can further customize this, and this is also really, really cool. Now let me show you what you can do. So we used Poppins here as our main font. You can also do the same here just to make everything look consistent. So what we're going to do here is, right now it's showing the recent products, okay? But you can also click on this drop down and say, okay, I want to choose my best selling products. But of course, this will show once your shop has been out there working, and as people are buying particular products, this is what will be shown here. So I think there's an algorithm or something that works behind the scenes to show that. All right, so product category, you can also choose by product category. Now remember, we had those categories, and here they are. We've got fun shoes, casual shoes, and so on. So we can say, for example, casual shoes. So if we want to only show casual shoes, this is what shows up here, and this is what we have. So all you need to do now is to add a title there that says casual shoes. So as you can see, this module is very, very powerful. You can do quite a lot of things here. All right. You can also choose fun shoes if you wanted to, and this will only show fun shoes. Now over here, you can do a product count, so you can show only 4, for example, and there we go. We have our fun shoes. Now what you could also do is to click on this drop down and show your sale products. So if you want to really highlight your sale products, you can just go ahead and show everything that's on sale. This may be a good idea. So for people to know what's on sale, so you can have maybe a specific page that has pretty much this module which shows the sale products. So there's a lot that you could do with this. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to keep things very, very basic. I'm going to go with the recent products, and we're just going to have this module show our recent products here, but I want to show 8. I don't want to overwhelm this main landing page, by the way. So show 8. Now let's go in and really customize this. So let's go to our description text here. So I'm going to come over here and first of all, change my font to Poppins. I'm going to make it all caps, and let's make it bold. I really want, in fact, semi-bold is fine. Now I'm going to add my color. So I'm going to go with one of my colors here from my color palette. So pretty much I'm happy with that. Next, I'm going to come over here on the pricing, and I'm going to go in and change my font as well to Poppins, and let's change our color. Now, as you can see, this color here doesn't really stand out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click these three little dots, and I'm going to choose a color here from our color manager. So I'm going to go with this one here, and now that is much better. I may also want to increase the size a little bit here to about 16, so that when people come over here, they can really see our prices easier. Okay, so now that I've added that, I'm going to change my font weight as well, and let's make this bold so it's easier to see. Now I may want to go into our product here and increase the size as well. So let's go with 18. Okay, let's reduce this a little bit, 16. All right, we're going to go with 15. All right, so that's looking great. What I could also do here on the image is to come over here on this little brush tool. It's going to take us to our image, and I'm going to give it some rounded corners. So I'm going to go with 4 just to, polish it up a little bit. Okay, I don't need to add borders here, but you know what? When I hover over it, you can see here we have this icon, and I don't really like that. So I'm going to come over here to my overlay, and I'm going to change my icon color first of all. So I'm going to make it orange, or that bright color there. Great. Next, my overlay color. Let's add this color here. But as you can see, it pretty much covers the product, but we don't want to do that. So we click here and on the color, and we just drag this down, and let's test it now and see how it looks. We just want a slight hint of that overlay. And to be honest, I think I like that. Yes, this looks great. Now, this icon here can also be changed. We don't really have to have that icon. So what I can do here is to just use maybe this one right here. Okay, that arrow. So I'm going to use that as my main icon and then save. So pretty much our home page is done. So all I have to do now is to add some padding here to the top. I normally go with 100, and then I'm going to click on this little chain so that that value is also added here to the bottom, and we've created our main page. Now, what we may also want to do is to go in and add another row, single column, and let's add text. Now, the reason why I'm adding this is because I really want to add a title to this main page, and we're going to say recent products. Okay, so that people know at least when they come on the page what they're looking at. So I'm going to come over here to design text, and I'm going to make this Poppins, and we're going to make it all caps, increase the text a little bit to about, let's say 20. And let's change this to semi-bold, and I'm going to use one of my colors here from my color palette and save. All I have to do now is to drag this to the top, just above my main products. So we can do it this way, have it like that, and pretty much that's it. But if you want to have maybe a line below it, you can go ahead and do that. But you know what? I'm going to leave this as it is. So we've worked quite hard now. We have our main landing page. We have our products. So what we're going to do now is we're going to save this, and then we're going to do a quick preview and see what this page looks like. Now, you recall in the beginning, I did mention that I really like using the Divi page builder. This is the flexibility that I was talking about. All right, so we're going to exit the visual builder now. And this is our page. So if I scroll down here, these are all our products. And this is looking really, really nice. Okay, so we're going to hit start shopping. This will take us to the shop page. All right, now let's see what happens when we click on the product itself. So if I come over here, it's taking us to the product page, but I'm sure you can agree with me that this product page doesn't look great at all. And this is where now I'm going to take you into the theme builder. Okay, so we're going to change all these products, the way they look, into something that looks really, really well designed. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, so I'm going to come all the way down here to Divi, click on theme builder. So this is where now we can click here on template, and the template I'm going to go with is our products. So Here we go. All products, create template. So my template is going to start mainly with our custom body here. So I'm going to click on custom body, build custom body. I'm normally like doing this from scratch. So I'm going to go in and do this from scratch. Right. So I'm going to click build from scratch, and I'm going to start off by adding my full width. Let's go with full width header. Okay. So here we are going to click on this little icon here because we're going to have some dynamic links. And what we need here is the post archive title. Okay, so this is going to bring in all our information about that particular product. And then here on the description, to be honest, I don't want any description there. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. I also don't need the button. So I'm just going to delete the text there. So pretty much all we have is the title there. So I'm going to go in now and change my font to Poppins. And I'm also going to make it all caps. Yeah, and pretty much that's okay. Next, I'm going to go to my background now. So I'm going to click here on content, background, and I'm going to change to this color right here. In fact, let's go with gray. And then on the third tab, we're going to add our image. But the way we're going to add our image, we're going to add it dynamically because we want our featured image to then show on that area right there. Okay, so that's our featured image there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come all the way down here to my image blend and click on multiply. All right, so that's looking great now. I'm going to save this, and then I'm just going to delete what we have there on the top. So this is going to be our main part there at the top. Right, so the next step is to start adding all our elements that we need to show this page correctly. So I'm going to click here on this plus button. I'm going to go for regular, and we are just going to go and have, let's say, 2 columns here. On the left column, we're going to add our image, and I'm just going to click here on Woo Images. So already it's set to this product, which is great. And then all I need to do now is to go to design, and then I'm going to click on image, give this rounded corners. I'm going to give this 4. Okay, so I think that looks fine. So that's going to be my image. Save that. Over here on the right, I'm going to add my title. So I'm going to go with my search for my text module here. Now we're going to need a few of these, to be honest, because we're going to have the title description as well. So I'm going to duplicate this twice and then go back in here, and this is going to be our title. So make sure you click on this dynamic link and then choose post archive title. Click on the design tab, text, and then we're going to change this to Poppins. We're going to make this slightly bigger. Let's go with 25 here. We may want to change the color here a little bit. So let's go with this really dark one. No, in fact, that doesn't work. Let's go with, right, let's go with that. Right, so let's add a bit of line height as well. Right, so now let's go to our description text. So over here, I'm going to click on this gear icon, and we're going to click here on this little icon again. It's dynamic. And let's choose our product description. And there we go. Now we're going to go to design, text, change our text here to Poppins. We're going to increase the size a little bit. Okay, and now let's increase our line height. And that's looking great. I really like the way that's looking. But you know what? I want to come back over here and increase that a little bit. Okay, so let's save this. And then I'm going to come back over here and increase my text size. Now you may be wondering here, why am I doing it this way? So this is a template, by the way. So this is going to apply the changes pretty much across the whole site, okay, on all our products. So now that I have that, let's adjust our line height. And you know what? I want to make this bold. So I want that title to stand out. There we go. Right, so I'm going to save that. Now we're also going to need another module, and this time it's going to be the pricing. So I'm going to search for Woo price. There we go. So I'm going to add my pricing there, and this, make sure it's set to this product, and then we can go in and customize it now. So I'm going to change my font here, make sure it's Poppins, make it bold, and we're going to change the color as well. Nope, let's go with this. In fact, we may want to change it up a little bit. Okay, let's go with that. And notice that these colors will work great because all these colors are from our color manager. I'm going to increase the size a little bit, maybe about 20 to about 30. Now that we have the price, we may also need the add to cart. So I'm just going to search for add to cart. There we go. So now it's set to this product, which is great. So now I can go in and customize this. So I'm going to go ahead and use custom styles for button, and let's add our background color here. Now remember, on the main page, we used this bright color here, this bright orange, and that worked really well. So we want to keep that consistency throughout our design. Now for our text color, we're going to set this to white. And then finally, we need to make it all caps, change this to bold, and change our font to Poppins. Right, now that is nice and bold. I really like the way that looks. Finally, I'm going to come over here and let's change this to white as well. Oops. Field text color, make it nice and bright like that, or maybe we can go with the gray. I think let's go with the gray. So what I'm looking for now is my color here, my font, and that looks great. We can also go in here and customize here our colors and size and so on. So for that, I'm going to change my font. Okay, regular is fine. Here, I'm also going to do the same, change this to Poppins, make it all caps. Yep, I think that looks great. I'm going to save that. Now, what else do we need here? We're also going to need perhaps maybe the reviews. So let's go ahead and add that. So let's go with reviews, add it right here. And then I'm just going to go in and change my font here to Poppins, customize our colors. So you can see here, it's very easy to go in and choose the item I need to work on. So I'm going to go with some rounded corners there. We're going to change our font. So this is going to be Poppins. We're also going to change our description here. Change this to Poppins as well. But we're going to make this light gray. Okay, because we don't want this to really stand out. All right, so now that we have that all set, that's looking great. I'm going to save this for now. And then I'm going to come over here to our product. Now remember, this is what it looks like. Now if I refresh this, in fact, we need to save this first. I'm going to save this, save it one more time. And then we are going to exit here and save one more time. So all this time we've been working on this all products template, okay? Now let's refresh this page and see what it looks like. And now we can see that we've totally customized our page. We have our reviews here. We have our add to cart. We have our product description and so on. And this looks really, really nice. It's nice and simple. But as I'm here on this page, we can see here that this things doesn't look great over here. We may want to go in and really customize this and make it slightly darker. So I'm going to go back over here. And this is what you can do if you want to go in and customize your template. You can just go back into your template, go into my module settings, and then go to the background. All right, so this is where we added the background. So I'm just going to go into my color here, and we may want to use a darker color, and then just drag the slider down until we start seeing some information there. I'm going to save that. I'll save this one more time, and then we're going to exit out of here, save all changes. And now if I refresh this, we're going to see what this looks like. That looks much better now. So this is pretty much a design element. We're not really meant to show this product right here. Okay, so I'm just thinking, okay, what else do we need to do here? So we have our product here, we have our description, we have our add to cart. So that looks all great. We may also want to add related products here on the bottom. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to come back over here to my template, click on this pencil icon, and this time we're going to add, by clicking this plus button, we're going to add a single column. And I'm just going to search for my module here, and I'm going to call it Woo related. There we go. So these are going to be my related products. So this time I'm going to give this some rounded corners as well. Let's give this 4. Let's change our font here from default to Poppins. We're going to change the stars, change the pricing. Let's go with Poppins as well. And let's change this to bold. Okay, I'm going to leave the price as it is because I'm going to do something a bit different here and add a background. Okay. All right, so that looks great. I'm going to save that. Now, as I mentioned before, I'm going to come over here now and add a background color just to distinguish all of this from what we have there. So I'm going to come over here to design, click on border, and I'm going to give this some rounded corners as well. So I'm going to go with 4. But as you can see, all my products here are pretty much close to the edges. So to fix that, we're going to scroll down here and we are going to go into spacing. So the padding here on the left and the right, we're going to set this to 20. See how that looks. Okay, let's increase this a bit more. So let's go with about, okay, we're going to go with 40, and then top and bottom, we're going to go with 20. Okay, I think that looks great, but I may want to go into the background one more time and just reduce this down a little bit. I'm just adding a bit of transparency to this. There we go. So I'm going to save that. Save this one more time. Now back over here, when I refresh and scroll down, look at that. Isn't that amazing? So this is all done on our template, and this is looking really, really nice. I'm really happy with this. Okay, looks like I forgot to add my pricing here on product 5. So I am going to go and fix that. All right, so here on the reviews, I can see here our button here is not done, but that's something I can go in and fix. So let us take a look at this page now. So if I refresh this, right, so we can see now this looks really, really nice. We have our product title here, the description. We also have the pricing, the add to cart, and we have a beautiful image right here. And if I scroll down, you can see everything is all customized. And most importantly, if you take a look here, the related products, you can see here that this looks really, really nice. But you know what? I forgot to do one thing. If I take a look at this, we can see that we still have this blue, and we don't really have the colors that we had before on the hover state. So why don't we go in and fix that? So I'm going to come back over here to my builder, and then I'm just going to go in. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because I pay so much attention to detail. Sometimes it even bugs me. All right, so now that I'm here, I'm just going to click on one of these images here. And then I'm going to go to overlay, which is right here. So icon overlay color, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to add my arrow. And then for my background color, I'm going to add this blue. And then I'm going to add some transparency to it, just like that, and save. Now, while we're here, in fact, you can see here that this is working now. Now, while we're here, we also need to add another section here. Now, this section is also quite important. I'm going to click on a regular, and I'm going to add a single column. And in that column, let's add a Woo cart notice. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. Right, so this notice is very important because it lets us know what has been added to our cart. So now I'm going to go in and customize this. So I'm going to come over here to, in fact, let me just close this. Let's work on this particular section here. So I'm going to go in, and first of all, I'm going to go into design, and then I'm going to go into spacing. Now, right here, I'm going to remove my padding, and I'm going to add a background color here. So I'm going to go to my content, click on background, and let's see what color we can use here. Perhaps we can go with that. I think that works okay. So I'm going to go with this as my color, save that. Next, I'm going to go in here into my module settings, and I'm going to start by saying, in fact, this product is fine. And next I'm going to go into design, spacing. So here I'm going to remove the margins, both to the top and the bottom. And then I'm also going to remove the padding. There we go. And then next I'm going to start working on my button here. So I'm going to click on this little paint icon, click on use custom styles for button. And then I'm going to add my color here. So I think I'm going to add white as my text color. And then I'm going to add this as my color for my button. Okay, now we need to customize the size and the font. So let's change the font here to Poppins. And we are also going to reduce the size because the text here is a bit too much. Because we don't want the button to be really massive. So I think 17 here works okay. And then we want to remove this blue background here. So I'm going to come over here to background. And there we go. I've just clicked on transparent and now that is gone. So finally, I'm just going to come over here to my text and change this from default to Poppins. And I'm just going to make it smaller because we don't want this to be really dominating. There we go. And I'm also going to change the color. And I think that looks great. Save changes. Okay, so this is our notice. I've just added this, just in case this is something that you may want to have in there. Let me go into my row settings here and also remove the spacing. I noticed that we still have padding in there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of padding. So I'm going to go with, say, let's go with 10. There we go. All right, so I think I'm happy with that. I'm going to save. And that is looking great. So now when anytime our visitor wants to take a quick look at the cart, they can just come over here and view the cart. Excellent. I want to save this. Okay, great. Now, what I may also want to do here is to see if there are any other modules that I can add here. So I'm going to click on this plus button and just type in Woo. So, we had our stock feature. So I'm looking for Woo stock. So I'm just going to scroll down. There we go. So I got Woo stock and this will tell us how much is in stock. And I really like this, by the way. So this product is fine. I'm going to come over here to design. So let's work with our text here. So I'm going to change this to, okay, let me just click this here so we can go directly to our font and I'm going to go with Poppins and 15 stock. That's looking great. Now let me see if I can just go in and work with my colors here. The light gray. I think that's fine. I can go with that. Now let's see what happens if I try to add a border around it. So I'm going to come over here to border. Right, so the border goes all the way. And I don't like that. You know what? I'll just leave this as it is. So finally, all I have to do now is to go to spacing and I'm just going to add 0 to the padding and 0 to the margins. Right, so now as you can see, when I added 0 to my margin here, it was too much. So I'm just going to bring this down to about 10 pixels. I'm going to manually add it in there and that looks much better now. So I'm going to save this and I'm going to save this one more time. So pretty much we have our main product layout. I'm going to save this and close out of here. Now let's take a look at our product here. So once again, I'm just going to refresh this and there we go. So if I choose, let's say this product here, you're going to notice that all our products now have a similar layout. So you can see here, this is looking really, really nice. So we have here 10 in stock. But if we have a product which doesn't have the stock number, it just won't show. So if I come back over here, you can see it's not showing. But let's try and click on add to cart and let's see what happens up here. So you can see now this is where this information now shows. And then I can click on view cart. And here we can see we have all our items in our cart and that's looking great. All right. So, oops, let's just go back here. There we go. All right. So the next step now is let's work on our footer. So as you can see here, this footer doesn't look great. We ideally, we just want to quickly create our footer and make it look really nice on our page. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, all this work is being done in the theme builder. So I'm going to come back over here, and you're going to notice that when I add the template, it's just going to be on one area, but it's going to be applied pretty much across the whole website. All right, so I'm going to come over here to add global footer, build it. So I'm just going to do this quickly. I'm going to start from scratch here, and I'm going to add a single column. And in that column, I'm going to add text module. Right, so I'm going to start by adding all my links, and I'm going to start with my, let's go with home, about, special offers, and what else can we have here? Become a member. Right, so all I need to do now that I have all these, I'm just going to highlight it and add a URL. Now, in your case, this URL needs to be a URL that directs you to the page. So I'm going to click over here and add my blank URL like that. Do the same thing here. Now, there's several ways, you can create your footer links, but I'm just doing it this way. All right, so I'm just going to add another one there, and then finally become a member. Add my link. There we go. All right. So now I have all my links in place. That's looking great. Now we need to stylize this. So let me just save this for now so we can add a background color first. So I'm going to come over here and let's go in and add black as our background color for our footer. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stylize my text. So let me save this and then come back over here. So I'm going to click on this gear icon, design, and then I'm going to go to text. And this time it's the links that we need to take care of. So I'm going to come over here, change my font here to Poppins. We're going to change our link color. So we're going to go with that. Text size, let's bump it up a little bit to 15. And then what I'm going to do here is, in fact, our line height is fine. I'm going to leave that as it is. Let's add a hover state. So right now on the colors, you can see that we don't have any hover states there. So if I click on this little arrow here, click on the hover tab, I can add this orange color here as my hover state. So you can see when you hover, that's what's going to happen. All right, so that's looking great. I'm going to save this. Now, to save me a lot of time, I'm just going to go into my row settings here, and then I'm going to duplicate this a few times. Okay, so I've done it twice there. I've done it a few times. Now I can save this, and then I can go in here and then just add more links. So I can start here with the shop. This one here can be my cart. And this one here, let's go back and let's see my account. So I'm just basically adding the links that come by default with WooCommerce, and then checkout. Okay, so checkout is the final one here. There we go. So now I've just added all my links. I'm going to save that. Now here, what we can do is let's just add an email opt-in. Okay, there we go. So add our email opt-in here. And so what we're going to do here is we're just going to say get 10% off. Okay, so that's our main text there. Then we're going to have some description text, which I'm going to just grab over here on Lorem 2. Then we're just going to add it here. So that's going to be our description text. And then for our email account here, what we're going to do is, let's go to fields first because we don't need the last name. Okay, great. So we've removed the last name, and then next what we're going to do is remove the background as well because we don't need this background. Let's just use transparent. But what we're going to do is we're going to go in and give this a border. Right, so why don't we do that right away? I'm going to come over here to design. Then I'm just going to go to border, and we're going to give this a full border like that. Let's go with 2. All right, so for the border color, we're going to add our color like that. And then now I'm going to come to and stylize my field's background colors. Okay, so again, I'm going to remove the field's background color there. Let's add a border around that as well. There we go. Just like that. Right, we're going to go with gray, but this is a bit too bright, so I'm going to bring this down a little bit like that. Okay, now let's work on the button, and we want to stay consistent here with our button. So I'm going to go in and give our white text color, and then I'm going to give this orangey color. Then for the border radius, I'll leave it as it is, and I'm just going to add my border color. And let's change the font here to Poppins, and I'll leave it as it is, to be honest. And let's go into the text here, change this to Poppins. We're going to make it all caps, and we're also going to make it bold. Right. Next, we're going to come over here, change our font as well. And we're also going to change our color. And I think that's looking great. So I'm going to save that. Now we don't need this anymore, so I'm going to delete that. So that becomes now our call to action, and I'm really pleased with that. So let's save this, and also let's give this some breathing space. So let's give this about 100. There we go. Top and bottom. Save that. So now if we come to our product here, notice this is what we have, and I'm sure you can agree that this looks really ugly. If I refresh this page now, notice what happens. Oops, that didn't work. That is because I need to close here, save changes, and then refresh it. There we go. So now this is our new footer. So you may be saying, well, Mag, what is happening here? We don't have the form items. Well, that is because you need to go in and link it up with an email service provider like a MailChimp or MailPoet and stuff like that. So let me just come over here and fix a few things. You know, this area that we have here, I want to make it slightly bigger. So I'm going to have this structure right here. That looks much better now. Okay, so now I'm going to go in here and let's connect this. So in fact, before I do that, on our button here, it says subscribe. I just want to call this get offer. There we go. Right, so that looks better. And we also want to change this 10% to make it bigger. Okay, now it's looking more like a call to action. All right, great. So what is it that I want to do here? Oh, okay, we need to connect our form. So to connect our form, we come back over here to content, and then we're going to say email account. So let's say you have MailChimp. In fact, by the way, there's quite a lot here. We have ConvertKit, Emma, and so on. So let's say it's ConvertKit. You want to make sure you click on add. And then you add your account name. So let's say mine is Mag. Then over here is where you add your API key, API secret, and then hit submit. Now, once you hit submit, what will happen is your form then gets connected with ConvertKit or whatever email account that you have. Then once you hit save, you'll notice that, in fact, I made the very same mistake. I'm going to close out of here, save and exit. Okay, I'm going to save the changes one more time. And now if I refresh this, you notice that now we have our email opt-in and we also have our links. And when we hover over them, you can see here that this looks really, really nice. All right, great. So this is looking really nice. And I may also want to add, you know what, maybe you don't need to. Right, so we have our footer, we have our product page here, and this is looking really nice. I like that. Now, you know what I was thinking? We also, we have an offers page. Why don't you create a specific page for the offers? But before we do that, I want to fix this because the links that we have here are not correct. So I'm going to come back here, and now let's go to appearance, menus, and we need to assign these links here to our primary menu. We're going to save changes, and then we want to go in and adjust our fonts here. So I'm going to come back over here, and this time we need to go into customize. So if you don't want to create a header from scratch using the theme builder, this is how you can do it. I thought I'll just show you this way as well, because you may be interested to know how to actually use the existing header. So this is how you would do it. So I'm going to come over here to general settings. In fact, nope, I need to go to header and navigation. So we're going to go to the primary menu and we're going to make this all caps. So you can see right here, I'm going in and I'm customizing this. Theme font. Now this time we have to go all the way down to Poppins. Now all these are Google fonts, so you can use these, whenever you want. Right. So where is it? It's hiding somewhere here. Okay. I think we're close now. There we go. Right. So now that looks very consistent. Now active color, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go with one of my colors that I have from my color palette. And for the background color, now you see this is up to you. You can go in and change the background color here. But you know what? I'm going to keep things very simple. So for my text color here, I'm going to go in and give it this color and make sure we don't have transparency. All right, so that's looking great. I am now going to publish this. And pretty much I've made a few changes to my header. And by the way, this is mobile friendly as well, which is great. Right, so I'm going to close out of here. So now if I come to my product and I refresh, this is what we have. In fact, you know what? We need to make it bold. Let's go back. Sorry about that, guys. So let's go back to customize. Header and navigation, and we're going to go to our primary header. And where would you go? Okay, there we go. Bold. Excellent. We can also increase the size here. Let's go up a little bit and set it to about 16. There we go. I like that. So I'm going to publish one more time. And by the way, this is what happens when you design. Sometimes you may need to go back and into different menu items. All right. So now that we've saved this, I'm going to refresh. And as you can see, this is looking much better now. So let's move on to the next step. And that is to go to our discounts page or our sale page. Now for our sale page, we need to actually create it. So I'm going to come over here, close out of this, and let's add a brand new page. So I'm going to click here on page. I'm going to close out of here. Then I'm going to say sale, use Divi Builder. Now for this, I'm going to build everything from scratch. Right. So I'm going to build this from scratch and then add a single column. And in that, we're going to add a text module. And then we're just going to say huge sale, exclamation mark, highlight all this, go to my paragraph, set this to heading 1. And we also need it centered, and we're also going to customize it. But before we do that, I just want to save this and add an image in the background. So I'm going to come over here, click on the third tab, click on this plus button, and huge offers. I'm going to go with this image here, upload an image. And I think this one looks great. I like that. So now I'm going to go back over here and add black, add a bit of transparency there. And then I'm going to go back to my image tab and set my blending mode to multiply. All right, so now let's work on our text. So I'm going to save this, go into my text settings, design, heading text. Now this is heading 1. I'm going to go to my font here, choose Poppins. I'm going to make it all caps, and I'm just going to make this ultra bold. Make it white. Increase the size here, make it really big, and then center it. All right, so that's looking great. I really like this now. I just want to make sure that when I go to different mobile devices, it's going to have a nice size. Okay, so over here on the phone, we're just going to reduce this a little bit to about, let's say, 50. Okay, otherwise, everything else looks great. Right, so now that I have this in place, I'm going to save this. Then we just want to add some padding here. So let's go into our section settings, design. Now we need to go into our spacing. So let's start by adding, let's say 6 VW. Okay, so that's not looking much. Let's go with 10 VW. Now, if we take a look at the image here, we have the same problem that we had in the beginning, which is the heads are cut off. So let's go back over here, click on background. And then on the image tab, we're just going to make sure that this is top center. Okay, there we go. So now we can save this. All right, now it's time to add our product. So I'm going to click here on this plus button and we're going to add a regular section. And let's add our items that are on sale. So here we need a shop module. So I'm going to go ahead and select it. Okay, so but the one we need is not the recent products. We need sale products. So this page is only for items on sale. Right, there we go. So we have 3 items and our product count, let's add 3. All right, so column layout, we're going to go with 3 as well. And now they're nice and big. So when we add these, we still have to go back in and customize them as well. So let's go in and do that quickly. So I'm going to come over here and add 4 to our rounded corners. Now we're going to work on the texts. We're just going to make it bold. All caps, pop-ins, and let's make it bold. There we go. The pricing, we're going to change this to pop-ins as well. And we're going to increase the size a little bit. Then add our color. So I really like that. That's looking great. Now the sale badge can also be changed here. So sale badge color, boom, I'm going to add my color like that. And then we're going to change the font as well. Now, do you see how precise this is? I can really go in and choose the exact same style that I need for each and every part of this layout. And this is why I really like using Divi Page Builder. Okay, look at that. That's looking great. Next, I'm going to add a description to this. So let me add a single column here and go for the text. And then I'm just going to say products on sale. There we go. Go to design text. We're going to change this to pop-ins. We're going to make it all caps, increase the size a little bit. And we're also going to change this from regular to bold. And let's add our color. And save. Now I'm just going to drag this above. There we go. Items on sale. And then remember, all my sections here have a padding of 100, both to the top and the bottom. And that is looking really, really nice. So that's going to be our sale page. Save that. Okay. Now we need to add the sale page to the navigation here on the top. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back, go to our dashboard. Right, so to change that, we're going to come back to the appearance, menus, and here's our sale page. We're going to add it to the menu. There we go. So now it's there. Let's add it over here to the sale. Now the shop, to be honest, I don't really like that. Let's remove the shop because our main landing page is going to work as our main shop page anyways. So I'm going to leave it at that. So I'm going to save my menu, and if I refresh this page now, here we go. We got our sale page. If I click on it, this is what we see. Okay. All right. So far so good. But while I'm on this page, I think I may need to increase my padding here so we can see more of this page. So let me go back in. All right. So I'm just going to drag this to about let's go with 15. Okay, so now let me check the different views. That's looking okay, and that's looking okay too. All right, fantastic. So now I can save this and then exit the Visual Builder. Right, so there's a few things that we may need to do here, and that is to go in and set up our coupon codes because you may want to add coupon codes on your promo pages. So I'm going to come over here to Dashboard. Right, so we need to come over and hover over here where it says WooCommerce and then click on Coupons. So to add a coupon code is very easy. All you have to do is to click on Add Coupon, and then you want to give this coupon code a name. So if it's Black Friday, you can call it Black 50. If it's 50% discount, you can add a description here like let's say 50% discount. Okay. Now this is just for you to know what this coupon code is for. All right. So now that I've added this here, the next step is to come over here. So this is where you can decide whether you want to have a percentage, a fixed discount, or fixed cut discount or fixed product discount. So I'm going to go with percentage and set it to 50%. And then you can also add your coupon expiry date. So let's say mine expires on the 30th of June. And then over here, you can add usage restriction, and that is minimum spend. So you can have a notice on your website that says if you spend more than, let's say, $100 or £100, you get the 50% off the Black Friday code. But if you don't, then if you don't spend more than 50, then you won't get this this discount. So it's up to you how you're gonna position that. And then over here you can say individual use only, or you can exclude sale items as well. So that means, you know, that page where we have the sell items, you can exclude that page or any products in that. And then over here, you can also add specific products. So if I start typing here, you can see all my products are showing. So I can exclude products if I need to, and I can specify which products go on sale as well. So this is how this works. And then over here on usage limits, you can say usage limit per person. You can limit this to 1, and you want that to be used only once. And pretty much, you know, as you can see, this is really, really powerful. So you can decide how you want to use this. So if I hit publish now, that means on the checkout, we're going to get the option of this coupon code. All right, so let's test this and see how that works. So I'm going to go to, let's say, the home page here. Right, so I'm going to scroll down and let's go with this product here. Let's take a look at this. Add to cart. Okay, so if I click on view cart, there we go. So now we have the coupon code. So if I click apply coupon, in fact, I need to add the coupon code first. Right, so we said black 50. Now, notice what happens here when I apply the coupon code. So over here, it says it's 99. I mean, it's 198 because we have 2. In fact, let me add 1. Okay, update. Right, let's add my coupon code again. Black 50. If I apply the coupon code, you're going to see the discount coming over here. So if I click, so here. Now over here, you can see coupon code black 50, then it says minus 49.50, and then the total now is 49. So this means my coupon code is working, and that is really, really, really cool. Now, as we look at this page here, you can see it's not really consistent with the design that we have. Now, what we can also do is enable the visual builder here and really go in and customize the layout of this page. So if I say use existing content, you're going to notice that I can go in now and really customize this. So let's start by adding a background color here. So I'm going to go in and click on background. So I'm going to give this a very light gray. Okay, like that. And then next, I'm going to come over here to design border, and I'm going to give this 4. Now, as you can see, everything is way too close to the edges. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go down here to, in fact, I'm looking for spacing. All right. So I'm going to give this some padding. Let's go with 4 VW. Right. So I'm going to have this all round. Okay. So that's looking good so far. Save that. Now I'm going to go into this area here and customize pretty much my WooCommerce cart. And as you can see, this is a shortcode, but I can go in and play around with all these items. So if I come over here to cart totals, for example, I can go in, change my font to Poppins just to make it custom. Okay. So I want to use my own colors here. I don't want to use the colors that come in with WooCommerce here. So as you can see, I'm just going in here, changing my colors. Now I'm going to go to the button here. It says proceed to checkout. And for that button, I can increase my size. In fact, I can change this from regular to bold. And then over here as well, I'm going to change my fonts to Poppins, and let's change the colors. There we go. So as you can see here, I've gone in and I was able to customize all my items in here. But you know what? You know that background color I've just added? I don't think that looks great. So let's go ahead and remove it. So I'm going to go here to background, make it transparent, and then I'm just going to add a border. Right. So my border here is going to be 1 pixel. That's my border color. And this is how I'm going to have the design. Save that. So pretty much this is what you can do to go in and make your shop look very consistent with the colors and also with fonts. All right, so now I'm going to save this. Now there are also other pages that you may want to look at, and that is the My Account page as well. So over here, let's go to our site. And if you go to the My Account page, you can also do the same thing. You can go in, change things around here, change the fonts, give this some background, and also remove the sidebar if you really need to. And on the cart page as well, In fact, this is the one that we've just worked on. You can see here it has update cart, proceed to checkout, and so on. And you can also customize your checkout page by coming over here. You can see here this doesn't look great. So same thing, enable the visual builder, use existing content, and then I can go in here by clicking this gear icon. So I can start by working here on the top and changing my font here to Poppins. So you can see pretty much everything has changed here, which is great. Right, so my first name, last name, I think that all looks fine. I don't really need to change much here. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So if I can just see where I can change that background, that'll be great. So I'm going to come back over here to content. Yeah, in fact, this is going to be my global background. So I'm not going to mess with that. I'm just going to save this. Save this one more time. Right, exit the visual builder. All right, great. So pretty much you can see here that we have a fully functioning e-commerce website. So let's go through this one more time. So here's our main homepage. And what we've done here is we've gone in and added all our products. And if I click on any of these products, we're going to have a product page that's pretty much consistent throughout. We also have the related products here. And if I click here on this product, you're going to see that all the products have a similar layout, which is really, really cool. So you can see here as I'm going through this, everything has a consistent layout. Now, if we add our product here to the cart, you can see here product 6 has been added to the cart. So this is notifying us that we've added a product to the cart. And if we click here on view cart, we are going to be able to see what is in our cart. And you can see here we have product 8 and product 6. If I need to remove it, I can just do that. And if I have a coupon code, I can add my coupon code here, proceed to checkout, and then finally I can go in, add my information here, and then I can just pay. Now, right now I have PayPal, but you can add Stripe, which allows you to use your credit card and debit card. And then once you click here on the privacy, whatever, proceed to checkout, and you're good to go. And this is a fully functioning shop. And I forgot to mention that we also added this footer here to our design. And pretty much this is how you set up your e-commerce store. All right, so if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell notification. By doing so, you'll be notified when I release new tutorials. Until next time, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.